today?
I'm ready to show you my stash. I never made vanilla, and then my daughter bought this company. I am the mom of the Fifield sisters, and when we started working on this, of course, there's beans that we can't sell. And so I'm the wonderful, lucky recipient of about as many beans as I ever want to have. My stash is kind of unique in that way that I don't have a single fold, I don't think. My problem with my stash is finding enough jars to put the beans in and then having the alcohol to cover them up with. So you want to look in my...
Yeah, I do.
This is my pantry.
Oh.
I started putting my stash in here. I knew I needed a dark place that was not cold. If you look right up there in the corner, that's where we started. This is my jar.
That's your daily use extract jar.
So here's one of the first ones that I made. This one's in October of 2021, but it's actually been refilled because it was so stuffed. This is a mother jar-ish kind of jar. And I haven't taken all the beans out. I've just kind of redone.
You've added some more alcohol?
Yeah, re-added the alcohol, pulled some out. And I got another one back in the middle. Can you see it up there?
I can.
This is some cinnamon extract.
Oh, nice. Made with Ceylon cinnamon?
Yep, with Ceylon cinnamon. More recently, I stopped, instead of just shoving the beans in as tight as I could get them, I sort of started to measure, but not really. Most of the time they're just shoved in there.
All
but
right.
I want to show you something else.
Look at that, hiding back behind all of the...
We got 2021 there, Thai tenses. We got
a whole bunch more jars.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this existed. I just found my mom's secret stash.
Would you like this one right here?
Yeah. Thank you, I needed that.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll show you some interesting ones. This one is Mad Mex, the famous Madagascar Mexican, which is really, really, really rare.
Interesting.
Ghana.
Okay, that one's a cool one.
This one's from December of 22, and it's a single fold Ghana because that's all we had. I have not even tasted this one. All right,
Cool.
Let's go down and see the rest of my stash.
More vanilla stash.
Yes.
Oh, that looks heavy.
So we got two here. And then we got another whole bin.
Oh, man.
I filled that closet first, and then I started doing these.
You were saying that you didn't have much of a stash. Mom.
I don't use it very much because there's only 2 people in my house.
That's true. That's
And
fair.
But I try to use vanilla as much as I can in everything that I
Yep.
do.
Where do you get those fantastic oak blocks?
Somebody really sweet, really nice guy. He makes some and then he let me have some. They're just big enough to put into the jar.
Because he hand split some. The person who makes them is her husband.
So they fit just fine.
Well, cool.
So this one is Mate with rum.
Just
That
good
would
old
be a really
Madagascar
yummy one.
bourbon
And I just
vanilla
made this one in
beans.
December.
Australia.
This is from Australia. And Australian beans are rare
Yeah.
and harder to come by and more expensive. And my parents spent 2 years in Australia. So Australia is kind of an important one for me. Uganda 2021. We got Vitae tensis PNG.
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea.
Vitae tensis, yeah.
That one's Mexico. Plan B Planfolia. And it's Mexican Cure because it's from Mexico. Vanilla, Madagascar,
So that's Mad Mex.
Mexican Cure. Hawaii Planifolia.
In
That
Mauna
was
Loa.
pretty precious. In Mauna Loa vodka, so that one was even, I spent a little more for the vodka that time because it was
Hawaii vanilla beans.
Mexican.
That was another Mexico.
Cure, 2022. I've got a couple of other special ones in the other room.
Let's go check them out.
So this one is a really special one because this is Peruvian.
So this is from Peru.
And I made it in 2020. I haven't opened this for a long time. These are those monster beans. Do you remember?
Yep, I do. Peruvian Pampona. And this was in 2020. This was like one of the very first new, interesting, not V planifolia vanilla beans that we ever got. And we were like, this is amazing.
That's just a piece of it. I don't smell alcohol hardly at all in that.
And this was in rum.
Well,
It's quite sweet. It's quite fruity. It's definitely rich vanilla, but that one has more of that almondy. Okay, so this one is Madagascar Mexican Cure vanilla beans in vodka. Started in 2021, and look at that bean.
I'm gonna pull some out in a little dish.
Okay, shows up. Whoa. So this is
This is
Madagascar
the
Mexican.
Madagascar Mexican.
You can see like little
flecks.
flat fat globules up on
This
the
is
top.
the Peru, which didn't do the globule-y things. You probably can't tell this, but just looking down into this jar, and it might be that there's not as many beans of the alcohol in here, and that's why it seems to be lighter colored. This seems to be blacker. And this one is old, and it's got plenty of bean in it.
It's just the difference in the size of beans.
Yeah, the kind of beans, just blacker than that. And then I told you about Ghana. Ghana was a new one too in 2022, and so we were really excited to try this one, and it was very much a broken
Yeah, they were like
chips, little pieces.
extract grade, dry as the bone. Would you say that you recommend Madagascar bourbon cure vanilla beans more than others? Or Mexican or Ugandan or something?
I think they're all delicious. I'm just lazy and I don't want to get them all out.
Sure.
But I know that Ugandan, like this one in my hands, would be an amazing brownie kind of vanilla because it's going to be
Like you
dark
can
and
tell
rich
the
and
difference.
chocolatey. I can tell the difference, but I'm too lazy to do it.
I do want to see a couple of like what you would use on a daily basis.
Okay.
What's like your most favorite, most special ones? What is only for best friends?
Here's an example of one I would probably just use on a daily basis. Now this one, it was made in April of 22, and it's Mexican beans, Mexican planifolia. And it's one of those that I shoved it in as tight as I could fit them and poured the alcohol over. And that one's going to be a great one for anything. And honestly, because I am not a big baker every 3 times a day kind of person, I just have a bottle of whatever I'm breaking into, and I don't break into all of them. I just let them hang until I'm ready to get a new one, and then I get one of the oldest ones that I can find and go for that one.
That's what you use.
And then restock that one, or make paste out of it if it's been done a couple times. I usually let it go twice.
So if you were purchasing the vanilla beans, which ones would you recommend?
If you've got all the money you want to spend, I would go with some of these richer, like Ugandan or Sri Lankan. The blends are wonderful, especially that one that we just started. That was the chocolatey blend.
Yeah.
Because they have so much richness from other kinds of beans.
Yeah.
And you get the goods from all.
What's your most cost-effective tips, tricks, little things that help you to have really awesome vanilla extract on the cheap?
I have never bought any fancy alcohol. And maybe it would really be a good thing, but honestly, I'm fine with the second to the bottom shelf vodka and rum, white rum.
It's always treated you well. It smells great. It tastes good. Why spend more?
Yeah.
You have invested in some nice jars. Do you feel like that was a
I think
worthwhile
that's really
investment?
important. This is a good lid. It's got a silicone lining.
Yeah.
It does get sticky.
Yeah.
I did just run it under the water to try and loosen up the seal, and then, but that's a good one. I wouldn't just use. I've tried using just plain
Canning rings.
and they really are hard to get open.
Yeah.
But this one's a good one.
Nice.
It's called 316 stainless steel by Eco Peaceful. And it came with the silicone rings in it. And I love these swing top jars. These Le Parfait ones are my favorite. These are Fido. They're good too. They're very good. This is why I love this kind of a jar.
Aroma.
They open so easy, and you can even pull this little tab to loosen it up.
As you can see, if you have a narrow neck bottle, you're gonna be fighting to get the beans out.
One thing that's nice though is you could just pour the vanilla out and use it.
That's true. That's a benefit. So pros and cons.
Big benefit. And this is kind of a cute little swing top thing. In fact, these are easier to shake.
That's true.
Mostly because they're little. But you can see I have a little bit of sediment on the bottom before I started to shake that.
This is good to shake them every now and then.
Yeah.
What kind of labels are you using?
These are just, oh, yeah.
Do you have a label maker?
Yeah, I do. It's this guy right here.
Cool. So you just type in what it is and press print, and then there you go. And they're waterproof. And
yeah, and they stick on and they peel off really easy. Here's my trick. I'm gonna put these guys on a towel.
Yeah, no sticky drips in the carpet.
So they sit back here, and then this towel, I'm gonna go over the top of them to protect them from light.
Yeah. Help them stay warm a little bit. Don't want to refrigerate them.
I want to tuck them back here in the back corner so they're not touching. A lot of times when I empty a jar, I'll just take the beans out of the jar if they've been used twice, if they've been extracted twice, and put a big pan, a big cookie sheet or a baking sheet, and just put the beans in the sugar, and then every day just kind of stir it. It helps to put a piece of parchment on the bottom so that you can lift and you don't have it get stuck to the metal. And then I just kind of toss it. Now we live in a dry climate, so for me it's pretty easy to dry.
And I like your tip of when you like have emptied the jar and there's like just some caviar and stuff stuck to the bottom of the jar to add some sugar there.
Yeah,
I think that's really smart.
Stir it around, and then dump that sugar out onto the rest of your dehydrating beans and toss it together. And then you've got the flavor from the caviar, the leftovers, and even just a little bit of vanilla in the bottom.
Yeah, the extract, yeah.
And then you've got the extra beans that are going to dry in your sugar too.
And by leaving it out on the counter and stirring it regularly.
It turns into, it feels a little bit like brown sugar. It's soft and it doesn't dry into hard clumps. If you do it that way.
How long do you need to dry it out for it to work out like that?
It only took a few days, maybe a week, until I got ready to pick the beans out. Well, then I would just throw it back in that empty jar.
Yeah.
And when it was dry enough, when I felt like it was dry enough.
Well, cool.
And then occasionally you might have to still go in there with a knife or something and loosen it up, but usually stays pretty good. This is my downstairs cellar. I'm storing my vanilla sugar up here with my bottle of vodka, both of which don't have to stay warm. Can you see the beans in there? The sugar was dried out with the beans before I sealed it up. And then I just sealed it up in this half-gallon jar. And when I need it, I can take some out and then I can seal it again. My husband has to have vanilla sugar.
He keeps it right on the table.
Right on the kitchen table. And he's got to put that in his cereal and his mush and stuff like that.
Yum.
It got so dry and clumpy that I ended up putting it back in the blender. So this is actually like powdered sugar texture.
It is, yeah, because you re-blended it. Yeah.
Because it had some clumps in it.
Yeah. Although our friend Jamie says that her kids eat the clumps. That's their favorite parts, their candy.
Yeah, that would be really delicious.
So, to each their own. Well, those are some really awesome tips.
I do use powder sometimes too. I like that when I'm baking. One thing I've liked to do with this vanilla powder is put it in a sifter, and then it gets all, even after you've blended it up, you still end up with some bits that are a little too big.
Yeah.
So I put it through a sifter.
That keeps it really nice.
And I like this little jar. My blender does a really good job.
And this is the blender that you use, this Vitamix.
This was actually vanilla powder made from vanilla sugar. So after I dried the sugar in the vanilla beans, and then I pulled the beans out of the sugar, and then I blended them up. So I didn't waste that at all. It was extracted twice, and then it was made into sugar, and then it was made into powder.
Yeah, and does it still smell really good?
Yeah. Especially
Nice.
if you shake it up a little.
Probably
yeah.
that little extra bit of sugar actually helps kind of
I think
enhance
so.
it.
I think it makes it really good.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I just take the jar and when it's empty and use it to make paste.
So like after the extract comes all out and there's just like this kind of
Yeah.
sludge at the bottom that you just can't get out.
So the last time I got a big bag of rescue beans, I made paste. I made a lot of paste.
Ah, nice.
This is 1 pint of my paste, and I got some more right here. And I had too many, and I didn't want to make all of it into paste. So these are paste kits. It's a starter.
cool.
So it's got all the beans and all the alcohol I need, and then I just have to get the rest of the ingredients.
the sugar, the corn syrup,
Right.
water,
There's-
xanthan gum,
There's
if you want
2
that.
of them here.
Fantastic.
So-
That's a really smart idea.
And
then
it'll
it
be really rich.
soaked and plumped and ready to
Yep.
go and blend easy.
Yep. This one is agave.
Paste made with agave.
And honey. I used both. And I used Ugandan beans. Ooh, that's pretty. Here, let me
Sure
grab my
is.
spoon.
Ooh, nice.
I've gotten so I really like paste.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, if I had a piece of sourdough bread, I might just go.
What are you planning on doing with your vanilla extract right now?
Just cook with it and gift it. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
I love giving it to my neighbors. I love to gift it as like wedding gifts and things like that too.
Yep.
This is Christmas gifts.
All right. Oh, how cute! You've got them already assembled, so all
Yeah,
you have
this
to...
was from this last Christmas, so this is what I gave this past year. And I just did these 2-ounce bottles.
So if you're giving advice for what to give for a gift,
2 ounces is quite a bit. And you can buy this whole set. Can you see how they come in that?
yeah,
fancy?
they come with like
Come on
the.
Amazon, and sometimes they even come with stickers.
I've had some come with twine or string.
And these even came with these
a little bag.
bags, but the bags don't fit very well.
What's your parting message?
Make vanilla. I think you should do a double fold at least.
Yeah.
I just think it's tastier that way, and don't be too fast to use it. Make paste if you need to have something right now, because you can use that right away, but let your vanilla sit and steep and get really delicious, and I think that you'll like it. You'll love it. Do it. Do it!
Awesome.
Don't be afraid. Just, and that was the one thing I probably should say, is that when we first started this journey, I didn't make any for a while because I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know about I've never been in a liquor store before, because in Utah we have a state liquor store, and I never thought about it, but then I said, okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet and do it, and I just got a jar and stuck the beans in and poured the alcohol on, and
Then after that, you were like,
then it was okay.
that was easy.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to try,
Awesome.
and keep several jars brewing up there in the cabinet because you'll want them down the road.
Awesome.
Your kids will love you for it,
That's true.
or your grandchildren.
If you're my mom, your kids and grandchildren will love you anyway. Awesome.
It's great. It's fun.
All right.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much.